You're welcome to the Life Wisdom Conference. It's Godwin, and I'm glad to have you this day. It's always a joy to see you attend this conference. And for those watching on YouTube, you are welcome to the YouTube channel. I encourage you all to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Life Wisdom Conference. Those of you on the conference right now, you can go to YouTube, search for the Life Wisdom Conference, and then subscribe to it, watch the videos, apply them to your life, but make sure you also like them, and you can leave some wonderful comments under those places. Many of you like to say things to me, but you can also uh, add some comments down there, because I understand that when you give good comments, other people are also encouraged to watch the video. I believe most of you have been benefiting a lot from the great wisdom keys that are released quarterly in this wisdom conference. And so let's try as much as possible to spread the word so that people can actually also be blessed with these wisdom keys that we share during the Life Wisdom Conference. Today is a very special day because this is a day that I begin a new season. I've gone through 2 seasons. Began season 1, went about 7 episodes. Began season 2, went about 5 episodes. And today I'm beginning season 3. This particular season is going to go a lot of episodes, so many episodes, because what I did in season 1 and for some sections of season 2 was that I was speaking wisdom from certain things and I was just showing you the wisdom. But in season 3, I'm going to go back, take some of the wisdom keys, and then we go into details, because I just hit on some of them with a little application, but we'll go into some details concerning them. I'll stress more on how you can apply them in different aspects of your life. And so I believe that by the time we end season 3, we would have covered most of the things we did in the previous season in detail, with some extra added things that we'll be learning as time goes on. So season 3, I want you to brace yourself up and let's go for a run, because we're going to go for a long while before we end the season and move into season 4. I always have a scripture in my second slide for every wisdom conference that I hold. If today is your first time that you are seeing a wisdom conference video, don't think that it is a preaching. No, it's not. The wisdom conference that I hold is not a religious conference, even though personally I am a person of faith. But the wisdom conference is for everyone. We all come here to learn wisdom that we will use in various aspects of our life, whether it's our career, whether it's, and even when it deals with your career, that is even a lot, because some people's career is business and entrepreneurship. Whether also it's entertainment, it's your marriage, it's your relationship, if you're a student, your academics, whatever it is, you can apply these wisdom keys and experience success in those areas of your life. So we're going to go into most of these things. And so in season 3, like I said, I'm going to go back and go into them. Now, with this scripture that is down here, it says that if the axe is down and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. Ecclesiastes 10:10. You would see that I've boldened the last phrase. but wisdom brings success. Wisdom brings success. I believe it's a clause rather. That is the reason why we have the Wisdom Conference. The Wisdom Conference is there for us to pick wisdom keys which will apply to our lives and obtain or attain success in those aspects of our life that we have applied the wisdom keys. So it will be an error for you to attend the Wisdom Conference or listen to me and still be a failure in certain aspects of your life. In the Wisdom Conference, because of the short time that we have or we use during the conference, I'll not be able to go into all the details or all the sections and show you exactly how you can apply them. But I want you to make that personal effort to see this particular wisdom key that the speaker Godwin has exposed or has expounded on. How can I apply it to my marriage? Or how can I apply it to my business? Or how can I apply it to, say, my ministry? That is, if you are a pastor or something. And surely, I believe when you apply these wisdom keys, God is my witness that you will succeed. We will meet at the top. Thank you very much. Today, like I said, it's a very wonderful day. I'm going back to season 1 to pick certain things. In my first episode in season 1, I spoke about the wisdom of association, where Shatawale was our wisdom model. I stressed in particular that Shatawale at a particular point in time did certain things that resulted in certain successes. So one of those things was that he participated, or he used the wisdom of association. His association with Beyonce caused his career to expand at that particular period of his life. I don't know about today, but at that particular period of his life, he got certain things that he never would have gotten without such an association. And I just mentioned that, and I said that let's learn to associate with the right people. But today I want to go into the wisdom of associating in detail. And today our wisdom model is an animal called the archer fish. The archer fish. Now, I would want you all to watch a video which will serve as a foundation for what I'm going to talk about. For those of you on YouTube who have not seen the video, the reason why you haven't seen the video is because YouTube usually will flag some of these videos as copyrighted videos. So I want you to check the link below, the YouTube channel, the information side, and you find the link to the video that I just played during the conference there, so that I don't have any copyright issues with YouTube. Okay, so thank you very much. Now, the wisdom of association. Archer fishes, like we saw in the video, are a special kind of fish that do not only live basically by finding their food in the water. They actually love to hunt, and they hunt for other insects, or let me say insects that are outside the water. So they shoot a jet of water towards the direction of the insect that is outside of the water, whether it is on a small shrub or tree that is around the water body that they are inside. So they shoot a jet of water which strikes the insects, and it falls into the water, and then they grab it to eat. I believe it is one of their delicacies. That is why they would actually develop such a feeding or hunting mechanism. I don't know of other fishes that are able to do that. Well, other fishes they pour water, but they don't use it to hunt. They shoot water, but they don't usually use it to hunt. But the archer fish, they shoot it like an arrow. That's why they are called archer fishes, and it hits their prey, and their prey falls into the water. You would have seen this from the video if you watched the video. But what is it that we have to learn from the archer fish that makes this archer fish our wisdom model? Now, when the archer fishes hatch, or let me say give birth, when they have young, and these young begin to grow, they must also learn to develop their hunting skills. And so they begin to learn how to hunt. They start spraying these jets of water to try to get insects that they can eat. They try to hit them, destabilize them, they'll fall into the water, which most of you would have seen from the video. But they do this in small scoops, which is very great. When they come together as a number of them, small ones, like you can see here, and they aim at a particular target above the water, and they try to hit the target. Now, because they are young and inexperienced, mostly they are not able to hit their targets. So when they come together like this and they are all trying or attempting to hit it, it increases their probability of hitting their targets, which is very wise. I spoke about the wisdom of teamwork about a year ago. I advise you to go to the YouTube channel and watch the video. If you're on Telegram too, you can actually get the whole thing on Telegram too. Go type Life Wisdom Conference, you find it on the Telegram channel too, and then you can download it. Now, it is good, but there is something better. The fastest way that archer fishes learn to hunt, which is actually the best way, is usually by associating with older archer fishes. So as the young ones are growing, those that actually learn quickly and become the best among their peers or equals are those that associate with the big boys. So what they do is they attach themselves, they associate themselves to grown-up or older archer fishes. Then they follow them as the older ones hunt. Then they watch and they learn. And that is how they get better. But when you are following your peers who all are learning to hunt, then you are all doing trial and error. You learn by experience. And it takes longer than following the older people who already have the experience, associating with the big boys. You know, it's not easy when you understand the refraction of light. You know that it takes a lot of physics for this fish to be able to calculate and know how to actually shoot the jet of water such that it gets the insects. Because when you are inside water and you are looking at something that is outside of water, the position is not exactly where you think it is. So the fish actually does a lot of calculations. So it's not easy. But by the wisdom of association, certain archer fishes are able to become better hunters than their peers. And that is the wisdom of association that we want to learn from the archer fish today. Now, when we speak about association, to associate, basically, what does it mean? To associate basically has to do with to connect to someone or something. So you are a person or a thing, then you are connecting to someone or something else. So connecting someone to someone else, or connecting someone to something else, or connecting something to someone else, or connecting something to someone, something else, whatever combination you decide to make. But what relates to us actually is connection of a person to another person. That is what we are interested in. And so the wisdom key here is for us to learn to connect with the big boys. So by the wisdom of association, we are talking about associating with people that are higher than you. The wisdom conference, like we said in our opening scripture, Ecclesiastes 10:10, the last part of it said, wisdom brings success. So our aim is to succeed in whatever that we are going to do in this life. And nobody succeeds. Nobody goes to the top with the crowd. There are a lot of young fishes. If you want to be a better fish, a better archer fish, then you cannot go to the top with your friends. You have to learn to associate with the big boys. You have to be different and learn other things. You see, the people that you have around you, they have a very huge influence in your life. You know, especially on how you think. And how you think is very important and actually affects whether you would actually succeed in this life or not. If you are a negative thinker, it will affect you. And so the people that are around you, they actually influence you seriously. And most of these things are actually unintentional. We learn a lot of things from people without actually deciding to learn them. We pick up a lot of things unintentionally. And science proves it. If you have the time, you can go and search out some of these information. Science proves it. The way we spend time with people, for example, say if you stay with people that use abusive language all the time, you're always hearing it, you're always hearing it. No matter how good you think you are, one day unintentionally, something like that might just come out of your mouth. Just, you can watch it. I'm a personal example of not necessarily abusive language. There was a particular time in my life, this is quite funny though, but there was a particular time in my life where I hated pidgin. I didn't like to speak pidgin at all. I hated it. And I didn't like people who were speaking pidgin. But I had some friends who were always speaking pidgin. That was a few years after that period where I didn't like the pidgin. I had some friends who were always speaking pidgin. They would speak pidgin to each other. They would speak the pidgin to me. I was always telling myself, no, I was just hardening myself. By the time I realized, one day I was just going to ask something from someone and the pidgin just came out. It just came like normal English to me. That was when I realized that, wow, it has been entering into my system, but I don't know that my body, my mentality is changing. And I had to succumb in the end. Currently, I speak pidgin, which is quite funny, but that is what it is. Your associations, they have a huge influence in your life. And these kind of people, they will actually determine if you will succeed or not in this life. As to whether you are going to be a successful person in this life or not, it depends on your association. If your marriage will work, it depends on the kind of people you are associating with. You are married and all your friends are single people. Or let's say you are married, all your friends have side chicks and things. I'm telling you, one day you get a side chick. You may believe it or not. You have a side chick. I am not saying side chick is good or side chick is bad. Whatever you think it is, that is between you and your God. But what I have to say is that if we go by moral standards, that a man is supposed, once you are married, you shouldn't cheat on your wife. And the fact that ideally, by God's design, you should be with one woman, or even if you are a Muslim and you are with 4 women, be faithful to the person, or I mean, to those people. So if you have people who have side chicks, you are going to one day have a side chick. It might be unintentional, but you find yourself in it. And the people around you matter. In fact, furthermore, let me add this, that your association, even if you succeed in this life, your association will determine how long it's going to take you to do so. If we take the archer fishes, for example, ultimately, most archer fishes, most, I'm not saying all, learn how to hunt. Or let me say, in the end, are able to hunt. But some of them will take months, whilst others will take weeks. We are all in this world, we are growing. There are some of us who will be, this is just an example. I'm not saying that that's the definition of success, but it's just an example to help you understand. There are some of us who will be able to buy a car at the age of 25, and there are others who will be able to buy that same car at the age of 50. Once again, I'm saying that buying a car is not necessarily a measure of success. Okay. I'm sounding that caution. It's not necessarily a measure of success, but I'm saying it for you to understand. But of course, once you are successful, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a problem for you to have a car. Honestly, it shouldn't be a problem. But I just wanted to sound that caution that I am not implying so. But of course, anybody who is successful will easily be able to acquire a car. Good. So your association will determine whether or not you succeed. And if you will succeed, maybe by the grace of God, you will succeed, your association will actually determine how long it will take you to do so. Because some of your association can actually cause you to have a behavior that continually repels good people into your life that could actually catapult you to your next level. And so we need to learn to associate with the right people. And I want to make a very powerful statement. This is the powerful statement. Check the people that are around you. If you are not able to find someone who is better or higher or wiser or greater or richer than you currently, you have a big problem in life. It is an association problem, but it is actually a life problem. You have a very big problem, and you need to run to the ICU of the wisdom of association. You need to seriously start working seriously to change your associations. Let me tell you, you see, when you spend time with higher people, people that are better than you, it changes your life seriously. You need to raise the quality of your life. And you do that by hanging out with people that are where you want to be. So if you look and somebody is not where you want to be, if, for example, you look at your marriage and, or let me see, your marriage is a particular place. You look around you and you can't find somebody around you who has a marriage that you would like to have, then you have a problem. I'm telling you, you have a problem when it comes to the associations you create concerning your marriage. If it's a business you are running, and the people around you, when I say the people around you, or when I talk about your association, I'm not necessarily saying like people that are just around you, like around you. I mean people that are your friends, people that are close to you, people you spend the most time with, people you connect with, you network with, you talk with. That's what I mean. Those you hang out with. If you look around you, if you want to raise your business, and you look around you and there's no business that is higher than you that you are looking up to become like or better, then you have a problem. You have a big problem. When you go for meetings, and you bring up something, you say something in a meeting, and nobody is able to say that this thing that you have said, maybe, or let me say, when you go to a meeting, let me put it this way, when you go to a meeting and when you speak, everybody, I mean, every single time, I'm not saying once or twice, every single time you speak, everybody agrees with what you have said, I think you have a problem. You might be good. I'm not saying that what you are saying is not making sense. No, you might be good, but in this world, whether you believe it or not, there is always somebody better than you. And if you are not able to find people around you who are better than you, you are in trouble. Because the illusion of being the best where you are, it creates stagnation. You don't become better than who you are. You don't progress. You don't advance. Maybe you can use yourself as a measure, but I'll tell you that when you are the best and you are using yourself as a measure, it doesn't help. Now, there's difference between comparison. I'm not talking about comparison. I'm talking about association. And so I admonish people to go for conferences, connect with great people, people who have great minds, people who are doing great things, people who are running great businesses. If you're a businessman, if you're a pastor, people who have great ministries. If you are an entrepreneur, people who are great entrepreneurs. If you're an artist, people who are great artists. If you're a lawyer, people who are great lawyers, you need to hang out with them. If you're an engineer, you need to hang out with people who are great engineers. When you are in your own circle, you think that you know something until you meet people who are higher than you, then you realize that no. And so when you associate with such kind of people, you are doing yourself a great favor. When I found out this wisdom, then I realized that that is why people travel for business meetings. They meet in Dubai, they meet in India, they meet in China, they meet in Japan, they meet in Canada, they meet in the US. People go for seminars and things around places, conferences. They invite certain high-profile speakers. And after that, there are interactions. Most of these meetings, they sit in certain ways that you can interact with certain people. And let me tell you, if you ever have to save to attend such a meeting or conference, go for it. If there's a meeting in Dubai, let's say you are a lawyer, lawyers are meeting, lawyers from the whole world, or even let's start from Ghana. That's if you are listening to me from Ghana or your country, wherever you are listening to me from, are meeting. Pay the fee and attend the meeting. You are going to meet great people, connect with great people. Of course, there will be other mediocre people part of the conference, but you are there for the great people. You associate with them, connect with them. And you know what? When you meet some of those people, especially the very, very high profile people, always learn to take a picture with them. This is just a tip. Take the picture with them. And this picture is not for Facebook, no, or Instagram. No, it's a reserved picture for a greater glory coming. Most of these high profile people, they like to connect with younger people or even people that are a little lower than them or lower than them. Well, depending on how you look at it. And they try to encourage them. So you can even take the person as a mentor, either a close mentor or a distant mentor. You speak to the person, I've been reading your books and this, and I'm so glad to see you. You have, when you say these things, people are happy. Personally, I'm also growing. I don't think I have reached anywhere in life, but of course, some people also look up to me. And sometimes people meet me, especially people that haven't met me personally and have watched this wisdom conference. About 2 years ago, I met someone like that who just chanced on one of my wisdom conference videos, watched it and was so impacted. So I was moving somewhere. The person met me. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. He said, "Hello, please, are you the wisdom conference guy?" And I said, "Yes." Then the person was so glad he met me. try to establish contacts, said so many nice things. And I was also glad that I met such a person. And I was willing to help the person and give more explanation, throw more light on many things. And that is how most of these great profile people are. I'm telling you, when you meet some of these high people, they are so down to earth, they are so humble. Of course, there are a few that are exceptions who are quite proud, but most of these great personalities, they are quite humble and down to earth. They are willing to speak to you if only you put aside your fears and your shyness, walk to them and establish that connection. Associate yourself with them. Send them text messages. Ask them questions. Show signs of seriousness. They will advise you. When you have a problem, go to them and speak to them. Usually, they are always ready to help. I have associated with businessmen, I've associated with pastors, different people, and you realize that most of these people that are high up there, they are willing to talk to you. They are willing to help. They want to see you actually prosper because they also find some form of fulfillment when they tell somebody where you are going is not going to help you change this path, and you actually change and it works for you. They find fulfillment in that. And so you need to go for these conferences, link up with these people, associate yourself with them, and ensure that you make good use of it. You see, this is a very common quote, but I've tweaked it a little. It says that you are the combined average of the people you associate with the most, including the way you walk, talk, think, act, and dress. And so I have already said something about this previously, that you have to be very careful because people will influence you, whether you know it or not. So you must be intentional about the kind of people that you associate with. I try as much as possible to ensure that most of the people I associate with are mentors. Of course, you have family, you have friends, you call them, you say hi, you say this, you say that. But you should spend more time with people who will actually impact your life positively, people who will motivate you to go an extra mile, people who motivate you to achieve success, people who can tell you when you are going wrong that you are going wrong, change your steps, people that can serve as mentors for your life, for your career, for your business. You need such people. It's very important, and you need to be very close with them, associate with them, talk to them usually. Try as much as possible to ensure that most of the things you do are related to them, and you see that these better associations will help elevate aspects of your life that you brought them into. Now, there's something about associations that I want to caution you on. Your associations are basically your relationships, because when you begin to associate with people, you develop a relationship with them, you relate with them. And the wisdom of association, usually, it has to bring you some benefits. Yeah, you associate with the bigger people to benefit. You benefit from their wisdom, you benefit from their experience, their knowledge, their advice, and everything. However, you must ensure that your association with them does not in turn harm them, even if they may not benefit from your association with them. And so I decided to use an animal model of associations and relationships to explain what I mean. If you were a biology student, you would have heard of these animal associations: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism, where certain animals or plants associate with each other and gain certain benefits. In mutualism, you associate with someone, you gain the benefits of the association, and the person also gets something from that association. That is the best form of association that I will advise you to go for. When you associate with someone higher than you, of course, you may not have anything that might be of benefit to them, but you try as much as possible. You will surely find something that you can do that is also a benefit to them, in as much as that association is benefiting you. Try as much as possible to let it benefit them too. However, if you are not able, the commensalism is also there, where you benefit, but they don't benefit. But even though they don't benefit, it takes away absolutely nothing. The word is absolutely nothing from them. So in as much as you are benefiting from their wisdom, their knowledge, their experience, you have to ensure that it affects them. It does not affect them negatively. You have to ensure that it never affects them negatively. That is the commensalism. And I'll advise you never to go by parasitism, where your association with that person is rather bringing the person down. Your association with the person is rather causing harm to the person. It is making things in the person not go well. Then I advise you to stay away. You are not doing well, or let me say to change, because you are benefiting and you are causing harm to the other person. Please, let's learn these form of associations, and let's try as much as possible to pick the first one as much as possible. And where it's not possible, let's try as much as possible to go with the second one, where at least, even if we are benefiting, we do not cause any harm. Pick your associations wisely, and I can assure you that we will meet at the top. Personally, I've benefited a lot from my associations. For me, sometimes I actually say to people who are close to me and around me that if I fail in this life, then something, I don't know what is wrong with me, because the kind of people that I associate with, the people that I have around me in terms of my career, in terms of spirituality, when it comes to ministry, church, other things, when it comes to business, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to academics, they are all high up there. And I don't mean that I don't associate with people lower than me. No, there are people that also learn from me. So one way or the other, they are also my associations. But I associate more with people that are higher than me. I learn a lot of things, to the extent that a lot of people don't believe my age, because where I work, my equals mostly are not there. Because when I speak, I don't speak like someone who was born a few years ago. I speak as though I'm in my 30s and I'm in my 40s. Meanwhile, I'm just in my 20s. And so your associations alone can lift you up. And I know that because of my associations and by the grace and goodness and mercy of the Almighty God, I'll make it big time in this life. And I hope that you also work on your associations so that we'll meet at the top. Thank you very much for your time. I'm glad that I had you on this Wisdom Conference. If you want to reach out to me, my email is there. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. Try as much as possible to also subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to see a lot of subscribers coming up. If you are someone who can help to actually publicize these things, I'll be very much grateful, so that we can have more people learning from this wisdom case. Thank you once again for your time. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.